change. They supported calls for reduced representation in all levels of government, as it had been established that Kenya has the most expensive government in the world. They also proposed the cabinet to be drawn from politicians who are, quote, more sensitive to Kenyan needs.
Led by Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho and former Attorney General Professor Githu Muigai, the lawyers supported calls for a referendum to change the laws which were not addressing Kenyan needs. Although the 2010 constitution was praised as one of the best in the world, emphasis was on the need for a constitutional audit.
We need a constitution that we can afford. And since all of us are agreed now that we have learnt our lessons, numbers are not translating into greater democracy. Numbers are not yielding greater accountability. So we need to reduce the size of government and thereby to reduce the cost of government.
Professor Muigai supported calls for inclusion of politicians in running of the cabinet, as well as a reduction of the number of representation in all levels of government, as it had been established that Kenya had the most expensive government in the world.
The politicians are saying, remove all these people who are not politicians. They are not sensitive to what the people want. They have absolutely no clue to politics. They are not even technicians, as they claim to be. They have just messed up the place. We need to return politicians back to cabinet so that they are sensitive to the people, so that they can give the president political advice and cabinet can act politically, not technically.
In agreement to constitutional change, Governor Joho wants lawyers to be in the front line in the move to change the constitution in the country and avoid leaving the responsibility to members of the parliament.
There are issues of entrenching deeper in the constitution, matters that affect devolution. So that we don't have all the time to argue. There are lessons that we have learned from when we promulgated the constitution to this point. And in my own opinion, there is no better citizens that can handle this than the lawyers.
We have to learn from the mistakes of the past. We must ensure that as professionals, we also volunteer and steer the process that embraces an all-inclusive change that will be for the benefit of all Kenyans.
The legal professionals also called on major changes on the judiciary system to align it with the proposed referendum, including ensuring that the judiciary gets 3% of the national budget.
Or reviewing the gaps and seeing how then can we fill those gaps, if at all, and where are we in terms of performance of the constitution? What are the main issues that are making us not implement the constitution to its full?
They spoke during the annual general meeting of Law Society of Kenya in Mombasa, attended by more than 5,000 lawyers. Willie Lusige, KTN News.
You're watching KTN News. Thank you so much for watching our bulletin. We're taking a break, but when we come back, we'll have more news for you, including a story from Murang'a where 4 suspects have